سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك مبارك نكاح مبارك مبارك زواج مبارك مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك مبارك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again, brothers and sisters, to the series where we discuss the very important topic of marriage and divorce. I'm here with Sheikh Haitham Al Haddad. Sheikh, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We have been discussing the qualities of a potential wife. I'd like to continue from the last episode where you discussed the hadith about increasing the number of the ummah is a reason for marriage.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. We said that a man came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he said, I want to marry this lady, but she doesn't bear children. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, no. So the man left. Then the man came again and said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to marry this lady. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, no. So the man left. The third time, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to marry this lady. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam at that time, he said, no. Marry al-wadud al-walud. We explained the word al-wadud in the previous episode. I hope that the audience remember that. And al-walud. Al-walud, the one who bears children. Not in fact bear children, no. Birds produce a lot of children.
Okay.
Walud. Continuously does that. Why is this? فَإِنِّي مُكَاثِرٌ بِكُمُ الْأُمَمَا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. This is what the Prophet ﷺ said. I will be proud of your number in front of other prophets on the day of resurrection. If you remember, we discussed the aims of marriage. And we said one of the aims of marriage is what?
To increase the number.
To increase the number of the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we said that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam described the prophets and their followers on the day of resurrection. And he mentioned that one prophet will come with one follower, with two followers, with a few number of people. And Musa alayhi salam will come with a large number of followers. And then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I wish to be the one with the biggest number of followers. Allah Jalla wa Ala likes Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam the most. Allah Jalla wa Ala revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam the best of speech, Al-Quran. The best of books is Al-Quran, although all of it is Kalamullah. At-Tawrah, the Torah is Kalamullah. The Injil is Kalamullah. The Zabur is Kalamullah. And the Quran is the best of Kalamullah. So, this ummah is blessed by having the best of prophets, having the best of what? Of books.
Speech.
That's why, if this ummah is big in number, this will please Allah and this will please Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And that's why we said that one of the main aims of marriage is to try to bring more children.
So I suppose this now brings the topic about what if someone can't have children? Where does that go in terms of priorities?
We will discuss that, but I want to emphasize on one point here. See, Muslims in the West, they sometimes talk about quality, not quantity. Yeah? And now people are talking about quality, but not quantity. See, we want quality and quantity. Now, some brothers put a conflict between quality and quantity in terms of children. And it has been established through some historical events that the quality of children will not be sacrificed if you have more children. In fact, more children will help you to have a quality tarbiyah, quality upbringing. In fact, the children will support each other.
So this idea of these days, if I have less children, I'll be able to give more time to them individually. This is not entirely correct.
Well, to be honest with you, some people might say, no, this is not true. I totally disagree with this. I totally disagree with this. My dear brothers and sisters, there are a number of factors that we need to put in mind when we live. Yeah, there is something called barakah. Barakah.
Important concept.
Yes, this is a very fundamental concept in our life as Muslims, and sometimes we forget it. For example, the Prophet ﷺ said, "ما نقص مال من صدقة." صح? ما نقص مال من صدقة. That sadaqah will not decrease your wealth. Now, in reality, sadaqah, charity, when you give money as a sadaqah, as a charity, it will decrease your amount of
If
money.
you think about it logically, that's the case.
You have £100, yeah, in your pocket. You gave a sadaqah, £20. What is left?
80.
80.
You've decreased your wealth.
It has been decreased. No one can argue with this. But in reality, the impact of this 80 is more than the impact of 100 because of the barakah. Some scholars now and some speakers, they say maybe the £20 would have protected you from something that may cause a loss for the £100. It is true.
Exactly.
You might have a car crash. You might have a fine, a ticket. Yeah, something like this. But because of the £20 that you have given, Allah protected you from other factors or other elements that might have decreased your wealth. This is one thing. But also the element of barakah. Yeah, it is a non-tangible concept. See, time. Now, many people say, if I read more Quran, I will lose time. They don't realize that reading more Quran will give you barakah in your time.
Exactly. SubhanAllah, sometimes this is strange with time. Sometimes you do something and it might take you 2 hours and you feel, I haven't achieved anything. And sometimes you do something and it takes 2 hours and you think, I've achieved so much.
Yes.
And there's the same amount of time.
Yes. And see, that barakah in time, wallahi, it is a very strange thing. Sometimes you might lose your watch. And if there is no barakah in your time, you might spend half an hour looking for it. Yeah? Or what happens is that your laptop, which you are heavily dependent on it might have a virus or a small problem. You might spend a day or two solving that minor problem. If you have barakah in your time, you might find a solution whereby this problem has been solved. Agree or not?
Yeah, agree.
Easily.
Exactly.
This is barakah. Barakah. So when you have more children, the more barakah you will have. Be confident, because this is what Allah wants.
And this will affect the rest of your life as well.
And this will affect the rest of your life. And again, don't be worried about financial difficulties or finance.
Otherwise, to be honest, I think if we're worried about financial difficulties all the time, we won't do anything.
Exactly. Wallahi, I remember that a friend of mine, his father, from one wife, not from many, he had 12 sons and 4 daughters.
MashaAllah.
Total of 16 from one wife. Yeah? And all of them, or as far as I know, most of the sons, they were well educated, engineers, have good jobs, and they started to even support their father. How? How is this? The element of barakah.
Yeah.
And most of them, I know a few of them, yeah, I know this brother and some of his brothers, well-mannered, well-educated, as we said.
So quality has not been
sacrificed.
Exactly.
Because of what? Because of the quantity.
Yeah,
so we should not be worried about this. And if the person intends this, then Allah Jalla wa Ala will give him support. And as we said, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, I don't like to have sexual relationship with women, but I force myself to have this relationship in order to produce children who will worship Allah Jalla.
SubhanAllah. Amazing points.
Now let me just read 2 hadith, yeah, 2 prophetic statements. They will summarize part of what we have discussed. One hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, the best of your women are those who are bearers of many children, the quality of walud, loving to their husbands, comforting and tolerant. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, provided that they have taqwa of Allah Jalla wa Ala. In the other hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, your woman who will be of the people of Jannah are those who are loving to their husbands, bearers of many children, and concerned about their husbands. Very beautiful hadith that summarize some of the qualities that we have mentioned. Another important quality that has been discussed, maybe not enough, which is to be virgin, the wife to be virgin. The Prophet ﷺ said, تزوجوا الأبكار, marry the virgin women. Why? Because they have a sweet tongue, as we said, and they have the ability to produce more children, and they will be content with what? With little. Also in hadith Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, you know, Jabir went in an expedition with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was looking after the army. At one point, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam walked next to Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one of the companions. He said, Jabir, have you got married? He said, yes. He said, whom did you marry? A virgin or previously married? He said, Ya Rasulullah, a lady that was previously married. She was divorced or widow. The Prophet ﷺ said, فَهَلَّا بِكْرًا تُلَاعِبُهَا وَتُلَاعِبُكَ. Wouldn't it be better for you to marry a virgin, yeah, that you play together? In one narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, وَتُضَاحِكُهَا وَتُضَاحِكُكَ. Yeah, means you play with her, she plays with you, you laugh together.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh.
Barakallah feek.
We've now come to the break. We'll be back soon, inshallah. Please join us again. We will continue talking about the important qualities of a potential wife. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
زواج مبارك
إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Every action depends upon its intention.
Intention sincere.
What is your intention? Why do you do what you do?
Concentration focused. Dedication dynamic.
Every single aspect of your mind, of your soul, of your heart, is it for Allah, sincerely for Him, or is it for something else?
Get going on how to improve your prayers.
The purpose of these talks is to counter exactly that type of behavior.
Join Abdul Rahim Green.
In other words, with the outward action, there is also an inner dimension.
In Inner Dimensions of Worship, every Wednesday at 12:30 a.m. and repeat telecast at 6:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV. Peace TV presents over 100 million viewers at one of the largest peace conferences in the world, addressing a sea of spellbound spectators. Over 30 world-renowned orators on Islam with credentials impeccable.
The truth of Islam.
Deen is your way of life.
It is our duty, our obligation.
By following the Quran and Sunnah,
we will give the message to one and all.
With articulation exquisite.
Read the book of Allah.
Islam is the easy way. It's the simple way.
Remind each other.
The Muslim is not a source of harm for other people.
Collaborate with the people for good.
This is the call of Islam.
With the mission of spreading the truth of Islam.
Do what you can to spread the word of Islam.
Wherever we are,
Live like Muslims.
Use your power.
Allah is saying, why do you need anything else? This Quran is self-sufficient.
Only book on the face of the globe, the Quran.
How a human being should lead his life is given in this instruction manual, the glorious Quran.
For peace to prevail on earth in Peacemakers. Next on Peace TV.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again, brothers and sisters, to this important discussion where we shall continue from where we left off, talking about the very important qualities that we might want to look for in a potential wife? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Let's get back into it. The qualities of wives. What's the next quality that you want to mention?
Okay. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Let me just read two hadith, two prophetic statements. They will summarize part of what we have discussed. One hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the best of your women are those who are bearers of many children, the quality of walud, loving to their husbands, comforting and tolerant. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, provided that they have taqwa of Allah Jalla wa Ala. In the other hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, your woman who will be of the people of Jannah are those who are loving to their husbands, bearers of many children, and concerned about their husbands. Very beautiful hadith that summarizes some of the qualities that we have mentioned. Another important quality that has been discussed, maybe not enough, which is to be virgin, the wife to be virgin. The Prophet ﷺ said, تزوجوا الأبكار, marry the virgin women. Why? Because they have a sweet tongue, as we said, and they have the ability to produce more children, and they will be content with what? With little. Also in hadith Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, you know, Jabir went in an expedition with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was looking after the army. At one point, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam walked next to Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one of the companions. He said, Jabir, have you got married? He said, yes. He said, whom did you marry? A virgin or previously married? He said, Ya Rasulullah, a lady that was previously married. She was divorced or widow. The Prophet ﷺ said, فَهَلَّا بِكْرًا تُلَاعِبُهَا وَتُلَاعِبُكَ. Wouldn't it be better for you to marry a virgin, that you play together? In one narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, وَتُضَاحِكُهَا وَتُضَاحِكُكَ. Means you play with her, she plays with you, you laugh together. Now, what does that mean? Because I'm sure that the sisters who were previously married, they will say, well, this is unfair.
Exactly.
To us. See, in general, the non-married people or the brothers who have not been exposed to marriage, who have not been married before, is far better for them to marry sisters who have not been married before. The compatibility, we'll discuss the issue of the compatibility, isn't it?
Yes.
The compatibility will be likely to be achieved.
It makes sense.
It does make sense. The Prophet ﷺ explained this because the women who have not been exposed to marriage before or have experienced before, she will be content with any little amount of romance, sexual intimacy. She will see her husband as everything in her life because she does not have previous experience.
So nothing to compare it to?
Exactly, nothing to compare to, or no man to compare to. While the sister with a previous experience or previous experiences, it is unlikely, definitely, to be like this. Same thing with the man.
Of course.
But with the sister, the case is more. And sometimes I see it in the Islamic Sharia Council. I see that it is unfair for a young brother who has not been married to marry a sister who has experience. She's demanding a lot. She has more experience.
She's used to certain standards, maybe.
Yes, she's used to certain standard. As you said, she compares him with other men. Why did we say in particular with sisters, this quality is needed in sisters? Because, see, and I hope our sisters listen to this carefully. The sister might be hurt when her husband compares her to another woman. She might be hurt a lot. But the husband will be hurt maybe 100 times more if he were to be compared with another man.
This is part of the
This
personality of the man.
Yeah. Okay? See, look at this. The man might feel jealous when another man looks at his wife. But he will be maybe double jealous or 100 times jealous, in fact, when his wife looks at another man. Yeah? The man wants to see that his wife does not see any other man other than him. So I would like to bring this issue to the attention of our sisters, because we are going to talk about elements that helps, a healthy marriage.
Successful marriage.
A successful marriage, One of them is this. And as one of the non-Muslim authors said to women, she gave an advice to women: let your husband feel that he is the lion of the den. Part of this is that don't tell him about other men. Don't tell him about the generosity of other men, of that particular man, or in particular things related to sexual intimacy.
So this applies, for example, if the sisters are talking together about their husbands, and someone says, my husband does this, this, and this, the wife might think, my husband doesn't do that.
Yes, wallahi, you mentioned this, Brother Daniel, which is really very important issue. Okay? Sisters have to be careful of this. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ didn't like qila wa qal. Yeah? It has been said this, this, this. The speech has to be useful. So sisters, and when you sit together, don't praise your husbands. Everyone is proud of her husband and mentions the good qualities of her husband, because the other married sister, she might not have a husband with these qualities, especially things related to the bed. Yeah? And that's why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he gave a maw'idah, admonition to women, a lady came and stood up and said, Ya Rasulullah, by Allah, women talk about these issues. And then the Prophet ﷺ was angry. And he said, this is like an example, when they talk about these private issues, this is like the example of a shaitan and a shaitana, a female devil and a male devil. They met in the street. They had sexual relationship in the street while people are watching. Look, a very
harsh and disgusting example.
Yes, very disgusting example. The Prophet ﷺ wants to show how disgusting this issue is.
It should be a private matter.
It is a private matter, let alone that it creates jealousy. Same thing talking about the generosity of the husband. Same thing is the discussion about the romantic nature of the husbands. And that's why, these plays became common these days, that describe the husband as a very romantic, generous, caring, kind man. They cause a lot of harm. And I remember hearing cases of divorce because some women compared their husbands to the hero in the film or in the play. There were a number of cases, genuine number of cases we heard about them.
So if that sister, for example, knew about this issue we were talking about and realized that it might affect her husband, if she refrained from comparing, then that divorce might not have happened.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
We'll have to stop there. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah fi.
Dear brothers and sisters, please come back and do join us for the next episode, when we will continue this important topic of talking about the important qualities when looking for a potential wife. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك There is joy, there is happiness. In this union, let there always be bliss. Allah will bless your home with light, your heart with never-ending delight. Two worlds today have now become one. The road ahead is as bright as the sun. Oh Allah, keep this marriage so strong. In your hands does their future belong.
Every investment has its own risks and waiting periods. Profit or loss is not guaranteed. But do you know of any investment that assures you a sure profit, not in this life, but in the hereafter? Yes, it is an investment in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Join us in spreading the true message of our Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind.
Support Peace TV. Send your zakat and donation to IRFI, Al Rayyan Bank, Quadrant Court, 48 Calthorpe Road, Birmingham, UK. Pound account number 011323301. IBAN GB52 LOYD 3096 3401 0241 92. Sort code 300083. Swift BIC code IBOBGB22. Please confirm your bank transfers at admin@peacetv.tv.
Support Peace TV, the solution for humanity.